All right, starting off here, give me a second to get things going. Getting all of our ducks in a row here. Microphone's on, got audio, everything's here. Okay, sounds good. It is just past 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. I am Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. This is so far when you're watching this live edition, we'll be recording this and posting it for anybody who had a chance to miss it earlier on our website, wdef.com/weather, and then also again to our social media pages as well. You'll find me out there on a lot of different locations, but for the station itself, or News 12 here in Chattanooga, Facebook, X, and Instagram, the main social media pages there. Coming up, we'll take a look at our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. We've got another batch of watches out there, flood watches for the near future, as we see again the potential for some flooding taking place across portions of the area. This could be again some fairly serious situations as we go into the rest of the day and the weekend. We'll time things out for you here in just a little bit to give you an idea as to what the forecast is going to be. If you've never tuned in here before, we are live on Facebook Live and Twitch, giving you an idea as to what's going on with the forecast. We cover the areas of southeast Tennessee, back into northern Georgia and northeastern parts of Alabama, and a small portion of western North Carolina. So that's the area that we cover right there. Chattanooga right in the middle. And again, those are our counties back into western North Carolina, north central, northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, and southeast Tennessee. We do have again the flood watches in effect for DeKalb and Jackson counties in Alabama. Those were about the only ones yesterday, still are the only ones for the News 12 viewing area at this point in time. The other flood watches from the National Weather Service in Nashville come right up to the counties that we cover. But as of right now, Grundy, Sequatchie, Bledsoe counties not included in that. But for parts of northeastern areas of Alabama, that flood watch will remain in effect for another 2 hours or so, give or take. Whether or not they have extended that is a question. Let me recheck this here for just a second. And as of right now, no, the expiration time on this will continue until 1 o'clock Central Time. So we will see again the potential for some flooding going on here. This is very important because what we've got is the problem for the time being is heavy amounts of rainfall coming through. That's where we got, again, most of the activity going on. Titan radar showing not a lot going on where it comes to rainfall across much of the News 12 viewing area. We do have, again, the potential for more showers back to the west of Chattanooga and a few scattered showers down to the south of Fort Payne and just to the area close west of or east of Huntsville, back to around Scottsboro in northeast Alabama. That's about as much rain as we have in the News 12 viewing area at this time. We've got a lot more where it comes to rainfall back to our west. We've already had a number of showers and thunderstorms pass through areas around Huntsville and back to the west of that into areas close to the Mississippi-Alabama line and back into around portions of Middle Tennessee. Heavy amounts of rainfall along I-65 from earlier on, and more potential of rainfall coming up throughout the course of the rest of the day. Going to expand this a little bit further so you can see what's coming our direction. Numerous flash flood warnings taking place well back up to near the boot heel of Missouri, western areas of Kentucky, right around the confluence of the Ohio and the Mississippi rivers. That, again, is where we've seen rainfall, storm after storm after storm moving over the same area. It's called, believe it or not, a training effect because it's like the cars of a railroad train going over the same spot again and again and again and again. And that's where we're winding up with all these flash flood warnings and those flood watches in effect for a good most of the area into and around portions back into around this rest of the day today, most of which, again, we're not seeing anything in the way of severe weather. If we do, it's going to be well to our west. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a little bit. But just past 11 o'clock on Friday morning, we've still got numerous showers and thunderstorms well back to our north, and we'll continue those throughout the rest of the day. And again, most of that aiming down to the south and west of the News 12 viewing area. And most of that avoiding our location, but some of those showers around Nashville, those if they hold together, might make their way into portions of the viewing area. And if that happens, then it's just plain rainfall out there. Hopefully nothing in the way of severe weather going on. Comment from Facebook, Regina Graham, miss you in Memphis. Thank you very much. Nice to be missed on that. If you've got any comments out there, Facebook or on Twitch, please let me know. Just post them and we'll read them off, or if you want to remain anonymous, that's something to take a look at there. We'll go back to the rainfall and the forecast on that coming up in just a little bit. Want to take a look at our picture of the day from the vacationing News 12, my co-anchor Andrew Harrison in parts of the American West. Seeing a lot of the great sights out there, from Devil's Tower to Yellowstone, Old Faithful, and this particular picture from around Teton Village in Wyoming. Beautiful view there out amongst the Rockies. One of my favorite spots to be, and a beautiful blue sky dotted with a few clouds out there. If you've got pictures, please send them on to us. We'd love to put them in the weather window. We can't do that if you don't send them in, though, so please let us know. Email them to us at pictures@wdef.com, or drop them to our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and X. If you'd like to get us to put those on there. Again, we'll take anything weather-related. Give us a description of what you were looking at or location, so that we have a little bit more to tell people about. You can remain anonymous if you want to, but a little tiny description would be kind of nice, just to make certain that we are able to tell people a little bit more about what you saw out there and what exactly it is that we're posting in the window. High temperature yesterday of 83 on the almanac. That was several degrees below our normal high temperature of 91, and way below our record high of 101 from yesterday that was set back in 2011. 58, the record low, which was last set back in 1965. A tenth of an inch just shy of that from yesterday, so we did manage to wind up with a little bit of rainfall, not enough to erase the deficit. For the month, we are already behind by about a third of an inch, and for the year, we are closing in on 3 inches behind, so we could definitely use some help on that if at all possible, but it looks like it's going to take a decent amount to make our way out of that anytime soon. On the air quality side of things, just checked on this a little while ago. That rain this morning and those winds out of the northwest have done a very good job of keeping the air cleaner than what we have seen in many a week. 34, the current AQI. Green, good level there. Forecast high for today, remaining green or good, 46, and also seeing that continue into tomorrow according to the latest forecast from airnow.gov and the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Air Pollution Control Board at apcb.org if you'd like to check out more about that. Clouds and a decent amount of haze off in the distance from our CHI Memorial Stadium camera. Looking back to the north at this time, Signal Mountain just barely visible out there on the horizon. Traffic from 75 north to 24 west is slightly moving along, but not by much at this time. Decently overcast around downtown. You can still see Lookout Mountain with, again, a decent amount of cloud cover there. But otherwise not doing too bad. Checking out the traffic at Lee Point on Highway 153 and 64. Looks like everything is moving along pretty well on the pre-lunch rush hour side of things. Kind of hazy off in the distance. Lots of clouds, gray skies from Island Cove Marina and Resort. This is all on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network, which you can check out on our website at wdef.com if you'd like to see more there. And from just a few dozen feet above from where I'm sitting and looking back to the north, the News 12 studio camera showing again a very heavy laden sky with clouds, but not too much to show you in the way of anything rolling on through. Temperatures have made their way up into the upper 70s. Humidity remains sultry, 84%, and winds out of the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. So not too bad for right now, considering where we could be early in the 90s at this time of the day if we had enough sunshine. Not picking up any of that as of right now, so temperatures about comparable to, again, being decently comfortable, not as hot as it possibly could be for this time of the year, but we're going to be getting back into that as we get into the next couple of days. Again, plenty of showers out there, and the cloud cover will continue throughout the rest of the day today. and into the rest of the forecast. So for now, not really that much to worry about when it comes to heavy amounts of rainfall. That is well back between Nashville and the Mid-South area. Most of that pouring in from Missouri and back into around portions of Illinois. This is all due to a storm system that is wandering its way across the country and stirring up showers and thunderstorms. This stationary front kind of folded up and not really moving anywhere too quickly. As it moves through the air, it's got just enough of a difference on either side of that front as it plows through to push that warm, moist air upwards into the atmosphere. And as it does, that's where we're getting all these showers and thunderstorms from. And right along that front, aligned from northwest to southeast, that's where we're picking up these showers and thunderstorms, dropping on down to the southeast. So the storms form along this route and then continue to form and drop more rainfall out there. And that's why we're seeing a threat of flash flooding, and have seen that for the last about 24 hours, even longer than that, well back on off to our west. So as long as this front is around, we'll continue to see the potential for more in the way of problems out there into the next couple of days. This is in no hurry to make its way through. It is going to be, again, slowly making its way across the area, so our chances of rainfall will remain on this into the next few days. Let's go ahead and take a look, put this into motion, and show you more about what we're expecting. These chances of showers and thunderstorms, again, mainly to our west, but there is the possibility that some of that could kind of wander into the area, so we're not quite done with the rainfall for now. As we go into this afternoon, if we get enough sunshine, we could make the upper 80s, but it doesn't look like too much out there for now. Overnight, especially back to the west of us, we see a recurring possibility of more thunderstorms firing up over the mid-Mississippi Valley, and then some of that could make its way into the area. The chances of rain and thunder tomorrow is going to be decently reduced. We will still have the potential of some, just not a lot, and those again will wander on through. The big thing tomorrow is going to be, again, the heat. We'll be back to numbers that are very normal for this time of the year, back in the lower 90s. And then as we go into early Sunday morning, some spotty showers possible, sultry again with lows back in the mid 70s, plenty of humidity out there. And through early Sunday, not really seeing again a great deal taking place, but we could see mid to late morning Sunday some more showers and thunderstorms. And if we'll take a look at the severe weather forecast coming up, it's a possibility we may see some of those becoming a little stronger. And then for early on Monday morning, what looks to be a bit of a squall line developing, but only a bit, well back to our west, middle Tennessee. That's where we pick up the possibility of some more storms coming through. So Monday morning's commute, that could be an issue. And again, it's back to school next week for a lot of schools already. We'll be seeing again the potential for some need for rain protection as the kids exit the school bus for early Monday morning at the school. So please keep that in mind. About time to get ready again to get the kids out the door early in the morning. So let's be cautious on that for right now. Severe weather chances for the time being, we're not seeing much of anything. This pale green area, that again is the potential for just generic thunderstorms on the scale at the top of the screen. This is where we see again possibility of thunderstorms today, just not concentrated to severe weather, and that's going to be well back to our west. Same thing for tomorrow. I think we're going to have limited chances of thunderstorms, but most importantly, they are going to be possible. And then we see again the possibility of these showers and thunderstorms kind of dropping off a little bit, but that possibility comes back up again as we go into Sunday. A marginal threat in the dark green polygon, slight risk, a higher possibility of severe weather well back to our north, and that will mark the end of the weekend. So we could see some stronger storms. Main threat for right now is going to be the potential for damaging winds, maybe some large hail, and also again for some very heavy amounts of rainfall. The flash flooding threat for today, again, back to the west of us, and that has now gone upwards to a moderate threat between Paducah and Birmingham. That's going to be the worst potential for flash flooding, so that's something we're really going to have to watch out for. And if you're traveling west of the News 12 viewing area, that's where we run into some problems. Tomorrow's threat confined well back up into roughly the Missouri River Valley and parts of the Ohio and mid-Mississippi Valley. valleys. Then we start to see that threat reappear as we get into Sunday for a good portion of the News 12 viewing area. That is where we start to again see the possibility of some flash flooding out there, but it doesn't take much, especially when the ground has already been saturated. That rain has got to go someplace, and it's going to run off very quickly, collect in places like culverts and ditches and streams and things like that. So we will see that potential for more showers dropping into the area, and that could again be a bit of a problem out there for travel. If you see a water-covered roadway, don't go plowing right through that. It might be the last mistake you ever make. Remember, turn around, don't drown, find another way to get to where you're going. Definitely the safest way to go. It might be inconvenient, but if it makes certain that you arrive there safely and alive, then I'm pretty much all for anything like that going on. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast, and again, through the course of the next few days, we have that marginal risk of severe weather coming up on Sunday. Chances of showers and thunderstorms more limited as we go into Saturday. I think we're still going to see some pop-up thunderstorms out there, and one or two of them on saturated ground. That's going to lead to the possibility of flash flooding as well, but less likely on Saturday, more likely on Sunday. Temperatures remain rather on the warm side through the lower 90s. That's typical for this time of the year. And then numbers next week take a bit of a downturn as we see numbers going back into the mid to upper 80s for highs and mid to upper 60s for low temperatures as we get into next week. Now, again, this is normal. This is below normal. This is really good news as we head into school. Yes, there will be the chance of showers and thunderstorms pretty much every single day into next week, especially in the afternoon and evening at the peak heating time of the day. But that's really good news for extracurricular activities and for the kids. It's not going to be as blazing hot as it possibly could be across much of the area. So definitely some good news on the temperatures. Whether or not that lasts into the next several days towards, say, about mid to late August, that is a very good question, because as of right now, it looks like it is going to be just warm enough to be a little bit above normal, but not by much. So we will see, again, some temperatures moderate by just a little bit. The blazing hot numbers well on down toward the Rio Grande and the desert Southwest, where that heat dome is going to be sticking around for a good portion of time and making things very miserable back that direction, with even more record highs possible into the course of the next several days, even the next several weeks, if this forecast pans out. Let's do one quick check of the tropics before we wind things up here for a minute. As of right now, according to the National Hurricane Center, nothing's showing up in the way of major problems developing, no major impulses coming in from off the west coast of Africa, and nothing developing between there and the Caribbean or the Gulf or the East Coast. Everything is decently quiet for now. Whether or not we keep that going also in question, because there are signs that toward the later portion of August, we could be looking at an uptick in the amount of storms coming through, and that again could be a bit of a problem out there, especially if you're planning on any vacationing to the Gulf, Florida, or the East Coast. Now is the time to keep track of what's going on with the weather situation in the tropics, because you don't want to be heading towards some place that is going to be issuing evacuation orders and causing you to move out of the picture just as quickly for your own protection. So please remember that and keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. Weather permitting, the Barnard Astronomical Society will be holding their star party Saturday, the 5th of August from 7 to 11. Clouds and rainfall out there. That's going to make things a little iffy. If you'd like to keep up to date on what their decision is, barnardastronomy.org or facebook.com/barnardastro. They'll have their telescopes out and available so you can look through them. Again, assuming good seeing conditions. That's going to be in Rising Fawn, Georgia at Cloudland Canyon State Park. For more information, again, you can go to their websites on that. Looking for something to do this weekend? Program your weather radio. We can help you on that. WDEF.com/weather for more, and stay tuned for more as well for how we can do more in the way of safety and other issues out there. If you're a teacher and would like our weather experts to appear in your classroom, great, wonderful, that we'd love to be there, but we don't just show up. That's rude and kind of, to be honest, a little weird. So if you'd like to invite us, go to WDEF.com/weather to the Food City Weather in the Classroom page for more details. You can fill out the form, contact information, grade level, any special subjects you'd like to tackle, anything about weather safety, anything about climate change and atmospheric composition. Our forecast we present to the kids. We talk a little bit more about that to the higher grade levels, middle school, high school, areas like that. Younger groups, kindergarten through about second grade, we do a different program that doesn't last quite as long. So please let us know what you'd like, but do so by going to our website to find out more information there. That'll about do it for today. We have little, if anything else, in the way of major problems for now. We're keeping our eyes on that flash flooding situation, and we'll have more details coming up tonight on News 12 at 5:30, 6, 7, and 11. Meteorologist Todd Heislip will be in with more on the forecast there, and I'll be back with you for the vacationing Chip Chapman coming up next week on the morning show, so stay tuned for more there. Find out more on my social media pages, and as always, you can pick up more about the forecast available at our main website. That's at wdef.com/weather. It is Friday morning, coming up on 11:30 Eastern Time. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. Stay tuned for more. I'll have more on the noon show, and meteorologist Todd Heislip will be in later on this evening. Stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online. Hope you have a great, safe, and happy weekend. Let's be careful out there, and stay tuned for more details on the forecast throughout the rest of the weekend. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Friday morning.